Hi there folks, this is Bobby again. This is video number 5 of how to perform a brake job properly. We're getting ready to reinstall the brakes here on the left front of this vehicle. I'm just going to show you one wheel going back together. And first of all, I want to talk about if you've watched all 5 of these videos, and if anything seems a little too complicated or whatever to attempt this yourself at home, please take it to a professional, because brakes and any other suspension related repairs are very important. They need to be done properly. Nuts and bolts need to be put back in place properly. They need to be torqued properly. They don't need to be cross-threaded, because remember folks, you are dealing with brakes, and brakes are what stops a vehicle. And any suspension component, you don't want that coming loose on the car. It can cause a major problem, accident and possible death. So do take precaution when attempting to do any type of this repair yourself at home. If you're doing something under the hood like an oil change, and you left the drain plug out and you lost all the oil and blew up the engine, well, hopefully engine would cut off and you'd end up on the side of the road. No one would get hurt. But just remember again that brakes are very serious and need to be done properly, and that's what I'm hoping that this video will help people. But anyway, I'm going to step around here and get to work, and I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and hope you enjoy. Now, first of all, we've got our rotor here. It's already been machined and cleaned properly. We're going to go ahead and put it back in place. And there are 2 little, hang on just a second, I gotta go get them. Folks, there's 2 screws that actually hold this rotor in place on this model, and it's actually just to hold it in place, typically on the assembly line when they're putting the cars together. But it is a good idea to go ahead and just keep them in place. Typically you have to remove them with a impact driver like this right here, but when I install them, I don't impact them back. I just tighten them up, as tight as you could get it with a number 3 Phillips head screwdriver, and just leave it at that, and that'll make life a little bit easier for the next guy that has to work on it. Now let me cut the wheel to the left. Now the next thing is our caliper bracket. That's already been loaded with our brand new brake pads that you saw me putting these together in an earlier video. Caliper pins have already been lubricated properly. Now we're going to find our 2 caliper bolts here, and we're going to go ahead and place this in place and start our caliper bolts by hand. Always start any bolt by hand. Don't just assume that it's started and stick an impact wrench or something on it, because there you will surely cross thread it, and then you'll be in big trouble. I'm going to zip these down and impact. But we're also going to take our torque wrench. It's already been preset to the proper torque, and we're going to place it on the bolt. This is a clip type torque wrench, so you can hear that when it reaches the proper torque, it actually clicks. So we know that both of those bolts are tightened properly. Now, hang on, I got one more tool I got to grab. Hang with me, folks. I seem to have misplaced the tool that I was going to use to squeeze the caliper back. Sorry about that. Hang on just a second. Okay, I'm on my way back. Alright, I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. A little bit of poor planning on my part there. But this here's your caliper, and this is your caliper piston. And in order to get this to fit back onto the caliper here with the pads in place, we've got to actually squeeze this back. So I'm going to take just a big old pair of channel locks. You can use a C-clamp and an old brake pad, but I am going to use an old brake pad. Hang on just a second. We're going to take this old brake pad, place it right here, take our channel locks, and from this point right here we're going to squeeze. As you see, the piston is going back into the caliper. Now we've got to get another bite here and squeeze. Alright, now our piston is all the way back inside the bore. Now we're going to place the caliper onto the brake assembly. Take your fingers, push in on your brake pads, push them all the way up against the rotor. Pay careful attention that you do not twist the brake line. I've seen cars come into a shop before where a mechanic had actually twisted the brake line just like that and forced it onto the caliper bracket. Well, that's going to create problems down the road. So just slide this on. You may have to push it on your caliper pin slightly to get it in place. And things are always harder when you're trying to film a video, for sure. Okay, now we have our caliper bolts right here that we are going to start by hand. Definitely want to start them by hand. Okay. And we do have an air ratchet here. We're going to zip them down with the air ratchet. And we have another torque wrench here that's already preset with the right socket on there at the right amount of torque. And we're going to torque this bolt to the proper spec. Folks, that's really all there is to it. Let me straighten the wheel back up again. So folks, that's one corner of the car. The brakes are properly put back together. And I hope you enjoyed this 5-part video series. And maybe this can help you do a project like this for yourself at home. Have a great day, folks, and thanks for watching.